Capricorn, welcome to your session for 2026. All I ask of you, Capricorn, is that you do not force any channel messages. Thank you. Most High, thank you so much for blessing me with the gift of intuition as intuitive reader. Allow this session to bring clarity, confirmation, and understanding for Capricorn. Thank you. Let's see. What message or message do you have for Capricorn? To help you get by. What stands out in the Knight of Swords is ready to defend the self, ready to defend the self or others at any moment, and rapid fire communication. Being headstrong is very noticeable in 2006. If you're wondering where am I getting the Knight of Pentacles from, is from the Knight of Earth for the overall energy of January. What message or messages you have for Capricorn? What you don't see is realignment. Okay. This isn't a combative energy, and this, what I'm channeling for you for 2026 Capricorn, the fact that with realignment in the air, this could just literally be where you're able to see your options, your choices before saying yes or no. Realignment is meaning you're being positioned back exactly where you need to be. And that is a wonderful experience, Capricorn. Losses or gains have nothing to do with being repositioned where you need to be. It's grace is what this is. So Capricorn, when it comes to being headstrong in 2026, that is going to be, you are going to be your own enemy. So you're going to need to tame your overall self. There is no I told you so, or, getting upset when you're not in control. If you feel like you're not in control in 2026, it's a lesson. And to prevent yourself from going through a lesson that you've already accomplished many of times. So your awareness, you will be able to see it, right? And in that moment or moments, ask yourself, are you where you're supposed to be? People, places, or things. And then you'll be able to move accordingly. But what I love about being placed where you're able to make that decision and not, how do I say this? Most High, give me the right words to explain to Capricorn about this realignment that's up in the air. Any cycles that you're open to re-experiencing, just know that the intensity of it is going to be 5 levels. It's kind of like, turning up the furnace 5 levels. And so either it is going to ignite you or it will consume you. If it ignites you, if you deciding to be realigned with the past, let's just say that, with the past, just know that if it consumes you, it's because you failed the lesson. If it ignites you, Capricorn, it means that your ego has been fed. And so, lessons that you've already learned, you're being asked to discard that option to be realigned with the past because there is no win situation in this. When it comes to realignment, Capricorn, and that's not the barrier of bad news, it is a guidance released to you, Capricorn, where it's kind of like, if you're a big fish, why are you acting like a small one? And if you're a small fish, that's because that's your genetics. You don't get any bigger. And so why are you being competitive with the big fishes who are jealous because you're able to maneuver in places that they cannot? Moving forward, Capricorn, when it comes to realignment, you notice life rearranging itself to match your higher truth. Let go of what no longer fits. Space is needed for new resonance to grow. Okay. What I love about resonance is that you have to be on one accord. There is no ownership of one person uh, operating in a frequency that stands alone. It's one body. And once you get that, Capricorn, you are going to be very resilient. Okay. Give me a direct message for Capricorn for 2026. Excuse me. I hope you didn't hear me burp. That's embarrassing. But I didn't want to hold it in. Now a hiccup. I'm growing. Make friends, Capricorn. And if you may feel obligated when it comes to being, you may feel like you keep getting positioned, right? Where the past presents itself, it's like there's no way around it. Let's say it's a person or people in general. When it comes to life, um, certain people are always going to surface in your life in 2026 who are from your past. It's because of involvement or association. Like there's no um, going around old and new. It just feels like the new. It's sad to say. It's kind of like, you know how you meet someone new and you are in hopes that it's a new person and only you know that person, and you go accordingly from that, versus you meeting someone new and they know someone that knows you. It just feels like it's a teeter totter in 2026. um, there is a hope of new just being new rather than being connected and associated uh, from connections that already know you. The connections that already know you possibly can um, interrupt new connections for you, but uh, how you are going to dominate 2026 Capricorn is through your connections. Um, I think you already are um, set in the mindset of who is for you and who's not for you. Um, when it comes to the committal line of friendship or conversation, um, I don't see you being as engaged, right? And clarify this engagement for Capricorn for 2026. I'm not resonating with your reading, Capricorn, and that's not for me. So, um, emotions, yeah, you know, you know that song by Janet Jackson. That's the way love goes. It feels like that melodic rhythm of that, but it's just like that's just that it is what it is when it comes to having access to you. Um, you may find connections wanting to know who you are, Capricorn. Like really going behind the veil, and I don't see you allowing anyone to have that access of going behind your veil. Um, are you deceitful in 2026? No, you're very straightforward and blunt. Okay. And that your straightforwardness and bluntness in 2026, Capricorn, just as a side note, it may cause certain individuals to play games with you, uh, to force you to open up the veil where everyone could see. So watch out for those who are trying to expose you or trying to belittle you or try to embarrass you. Pretty much you already will recognize where that energy is generating from. And um, what's the advice? What is the advice? About something. Thank you. Let go. Don't enter. Don't engage. Okay. It says some things are best let go and let the universe work it out in its divine timing. Give me a direct healing message for Capricorn for 2026. Of father's love and ancestral. So some of my Capricorns, there is a possibility that you come with peace with the absence of a father or the absence of affection, the absence of masculine energy. Um, there could be dreams in 2026 that resolve your internal matters of the heart when it comes to a father figure or someone who was a guardian who had masculine energy. Capricorn, if it is someone that is an endearment to you, you would use them as a guide in 2026 to give you a broader perspective when it comes to how you look at things in 2026, people, places, or things. Overall healing message is reaching out. And it says, Capricorn, we know you're reaching out right now for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of expecting help where offered as it is about the emotional benefits and learning that is truly okay to accept support however it is presented to you. So what this is saying in 2026, Capricorn, you don't have to look for the answers. The answers will come to you if it hasn't already been seated within you. The bottom of the deck is embrace the moment. Um, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do in 2026. I think it was Sagittarius who also got this healing message of embracing the moment. And I remember just snippets of the channel message, and I was tapping into not allowing other people to have control over your projections. That is an authority that belongs to you. But just remember that, people can be tricky and play games that you don't even know that you're giving that person by falling for the game. You don't even know that you have given that person permission to change the trajectory of your projection or your experiences at that time. Okay, something like being organized intentionally. All right, so basically, you do have individuals, Capricorns, that have studied you and they know versions of you. So be mindful of that when you feel out of control, and that you reassess yourself in that moment and ask yourself, what am I doing right now that has repeated itself? The lesson that I have learned, because whoever is manipulating or orchestrating behind the scenes, kind of, what is that word? A contradicting person, contradictive. Uh, remind yourself as a new days present itself and as good nights present itself in 2026, that you ask yourself not to contradict yourself, because you have people or individuals that have plays in motion that they are very confident that you will fall for, like your weaknesses. Okay. What is it that Capricorn is refusing to see? This is my first time doing 2000, a whole 365 days. We're on 306. Wait, we're on day 3. Yeah. I will say that it does take out a lot of energy, but I'm very grateful that I was given permission to do a year spread for you, Capricorn. What is it that Capricorn is refusing to see in 2026? Insecurities. All right. I don't know you, Capricorn, but by now you should have accepted your flaws and all. If you establish new flaws, right, accept them and adapt to those flaws. Okay. Um, it says your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. So what this is saying, what you don't see, is that you may find yourself not taking accountability of who you are. That's just the way it is. When you get in that motion, you're not going to second guess why you made a certain decision or why you performed a certain action or how you go about being you in 2026, dealing with people, places, or things, Capricorn. But when it comes to insecurity, let me tell you the shadow energy that I'm channeling, Capricorn, because I don't want your blood on my hands. I have to tell you this, and it's what I'm about to say is not to scare you or frighten you or uh, position you to every now and then be paranoid. This message is not that type of message. What you need to understand is you may have a rage, right, that is growing. You feel the rage, but you haven't acted it out. And the way I see you acting out this rage, this shadow energy, is taking what's not yours, right? Breaking other foundations. And what I mean by that, it's kind of like, what I can say is, in a business aspect, it's kind of like you have the referral, Capricorn, and you know someone who could benefit from this referral. Instead of helping and expanding and allowing uh, the money energy, the frequency of money to recycle, right, of whom that is connected to you, it looks like, because of the rage that has grown amongst whoever it is that could be a good candidate for an opportunity, you keep it for yourself. it is what it is. And so, is this a game changer for you? No. Be mindful. God knows our thoughts before we do it, knows our actions before we do it. And pretty much the fact that God is within us, we pretty much already know what we're going to do before we do it. Now that's full accountability, um, Capricorn. So it just feels like when you have opportunities that you can share in 2026, if you have no intentions of sharing the frequency of money, keep it to yourself. Don't consume the opportunity and say, yeah, you could have had a piece of this too, because that can that can cause you to explode the rage that has been manifesting. And if that rage is exploded, you may find yourself being a one man standing alone, and all of the support that you were supposed to support, right, singles you out, and all of the resources, right, starts to decline. And that's where you have, what do they say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's kind of connected to that. The bottom of the deck, you're the first person that I've done this to. Isolation. I've every zodiac sign up to you, Capricorn. I have not clarified what you don't see message. Everyone's got has been released one card. Okay. So am I afraid of this rage? No. I think you should be afraid of your own rage and what the outcome would be. And it can be prevented. Shed light on Capricorn, please. Shed light on Capricorn for 2026. Whenever you have doubt or anything like that, this is a reference you have in God's hands, Capricorn. It says, my trust in life is implicit. God's greater knowing and greatest love guides my heart and my choice. My faith is steady and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So this is allowing God to be the head of your life. Are you required to go this route? No. But when you have a moment where you are like, okay, what do I do? God is saying, I'm here to give you direction. Just ask. What else does Capricorn need to know? For those of you who are atheists, it's basically cleaning out your energy field and being open to restoration of new energy. Risk is in reverse. So no gambling in 2026. You fill in the blank of what that is: people, money, places, your emotions, manipulating emotions, anything that you can take accountability of, and saying, hey, no risk in 2026. There's no need, Capricorn. So for my Capricorns who are seeking love, you don't have to risk how you feel. You don't have to risk the message that you're trying to portray of an interest. Almost of what you don't see is ambition in reverse. If you're wondering how people perceive you, you are a good person with the compassion. That's the situation. If you are a bachelor, definitely there are some suitors um, who, you know, would love to be a part of whatever it is that you have passion for. For the most part, I don't see you putting energy into courting or dating or just anything that involves the matters of the heart. But there will be times, right, where it's challenging, where you could question, like, is this the right time to settle down? Or is this the right time to express to my spouse that there is something in the marriage that no longer serves me? Do we open this marriage? Do we seek counseling? Is there something that I need to modify within myself, or do I request my spouse to modify something with them? Because this marriage is draining, and you don't. It's like 2026 is not supposed to be this way. Clarify at the bottom of the deck for those of you who are married, dancing. There's a possibility of entertaining outside of your committal relationship. And if you choose to have a third party, it will be exposed. It's not something that will be hidden, whether that's you confidently moving around life with without secrecy of this third party, or you attempt to have it in the dark. But whatever is associated in that dark space, other people, those are the ones who are going to expose the truth that has been seen. It's very clear for those of you who are married that you are operating as if you are single or a bachelor or a bachelorette. Um, if you're not wearing a ring, if the band tan mark is there, there's no questions. Are you taken? If you are wearing a ring, it's more of a competition just to see if they could get you, to see how weak you are. And if you are weak to these third parties, just know that it will be no secret when it comes to the engagement with any third party. For those of you who are not engaged and have no intentions, my Capricorns, of any committal or dating, there is, you are using your vulnerabilities to get what you want, and that's the truth. You're working smarter and not harder, and that's not a game that you're playing that I see. I just, you're using your assets to get what you want. What other messages do you have for Capricorn for 2026? What other messages do you have for Capricorn in 2026? Okay. Excuse me. You have opening, success, healing, and freedom. This is what makes you happy, is definitely going to make you cry, Capricorn, in 2026. Um, so, but it's not in a negative way. What you happy will make you cry. Um, the growth here. Some people could say that you like to get your way, and you're fine with that because that's the truth. When it comes to kingdom, Capricorn, I don't know if I'm the bearer of bad news. When it comes to you have a position there, but when it comes to the kingdom of life, vision is more grand than in low places. Always takes you to the higher places, and that's where you have your peace. But you always have to go back to the lower places to fight your demons. Um, I don't know why it's going that way, but let's see what this healing entails, Capricorn. It's healing. Let's see. A direct message. That was what I was challenging. 27 could be significant. Taurus, Libra, and Sagittarius. Did I say 29? 27. Okay, I have the wrong book. All right. I'm gonna figure this out. Just one moment, Capricorn. 27. All right. All right. To assist your healing process, focus on what's great and let go of what isn't working or what's wrong, Capricorn. Hold on a vision of the solution that you desire. Be patient and trust the recovery is occurring in its own time and way. Nature is one of the greatest healers, so spend time with trees, soak up the rays of the sun, and dance in the rain. Why is this? That's what it is. I was just like, okay, all right. When it comes to healing moments or being a part of a healing experience of your connections in 2026, why did it zoom out? It was right there. It zoomed in and then it zoomed out once I said that. Most High, oh my gosh. When you look unbothered or phaseless, those are the moments to reground yourself. You may shed some tears, or you may, practice breathing, resetting yourself. Um, you make it look so easy getting over things. Like, mm-hmm. Give me a word of advice for Capricorn. Give me when it comes to things being so easy, why is it so easy for Capricorn? Capricorn, people are going to think that I'm showing you favoritism. I have not used the Universal of Love deck for not one zodiac sign. Hold on. Why does it look so easy for Capricorn? Not being phased. The dream, hope, faith, and surrender. This demonstrates a lot of confidence. You got make sure you write down what you hope for, what you have faith in, and what you are willing to let go. So this lets me know the reason why there's nothing phasing you is because you are focused on your own wholeness. You already see the outcome of whom you are trying to become. And so you know how they say fake it till you make it? You are already operating of whom you are trying to I'm hearing be and become. Be is attractive. Become are just experiences. And so you have to decide. I see you experiencing both, actually. Ooh, okay. Angel guide message for Capricorn, please, for 2026. Capricorn, your 2026 session will be available for you in your individual zodiac sign folder. Sorry about that. Virgo energy here. Learning experiences is coming through. Confirmation from you. Ease and grace. Not being phased. Take charge of your action and know having authority. Take a step back. And I feel like this take a step back is connected to those healing messages that were coming through when it comes to learning experience, Capricorn. Your direct angel guide message for 2026, which is confirmation as well. If you are a reader, it takes time. Everyone's experience with being a reader is different. So, we learn from each other. Um, we help guide each other. But for the most part, you want to make sure you're always authentic and that you keep yourself grounded. Moving forward, your direct angel guide message. I don't know who that was for, but I had to answer the question. Um, if you're wondering, like, how in the hell I have the gift of the outer ear, and I'm very grateful for that. Capricorn, that's focused on the message. Um, Your direct angel guide message for 2026 is the following. Inner peace and a sense of security come from overcoming hardships. Without the challenges that life has presented to you, you wouldn't be the person who you are today. Confirmation. This is a time for you to reflect on the incredible strengths you have. No matter what has gone wrong with you, you have made your way through the darkness and into the light. Confirmation. When this card appears for you, your angel guide is inviting you to ask yourself, what have I learned from this? Confirmation. This card represents the teacher you have within, and through integrity and connections, you will be able to find a message within the mystery. Confirmation. If you are still facing challenges, you are being encouraged to keep going and trust that the worst will soon be over. The light at the end of the tunnel is you. Confirmation again, Capricorn. I love you, Capricorn. Don't forget that love is kind, and don't forget that love is gentle until we meet again.